When there's something strange in your neighborhood, let me ask you something. Who are you gonna call? I mean, I don't have the answer. I think you should probably just look up paranormal investigators on Yelp or Angie's List or something, because I'm busy. I'm busy putting together a selection of some of the best, spookiest, and downright scariest horror anime around. Because it's Nerdoween, goddammit, and you deserve to have the pants literally scared off of you. Literally. Parasite the Maxim. What's your greatest fear? Is it having worm-like aliens forcefully invading your body through your nose and ears and then turning you into a horrible monster? Because that's exactly what happens in Parasite. When an alien invades the body of 17-year-old Shinichi Izumi, though, it misses his ear holes and takes over his right hand. And together, they have to fight for survival as other horrifying alien beasts have taken over his loved ones and try to murder him. And you thought tapeworm was bad. It is though, please, if you have tapeworm, see a doctor, Jesus. Another, transferring to a new school can be a terrifying proposition. It's even scarier when you transfer to a middle school class that just so happens to have been cursed by a student who died in the 1970s. And even scarier than that is when that Final Destination style curse comes back and starts claiming the lives of your classmates. And then a weird girl named May that only you can see appears. Well, funny you should mention, because that's exactly what happens to Koichi Sakakibara, and the results are pretty gruesome. I mean, man, middle school f***ing sucks, huh? Higurashi no Naku Koro ni, aka When the Cicadas Cry. The year, 1983. The month, June. The rural village, Hinamizawa. The story, a carefree, charismatic kid named Keiichi Maibara who befriends 4 girls. Sounds pretty good, right? Sounds like pretty chill? And it mostly is, until Keiichi learns that the town harbors a dark secret. A murdery secret. It's murder, that's the secret. And once Keiichi learns about it, his friends get pretty weird. And he suspects they might be out to get him as well. And now that you mention it, Jessica Chobot's been acting pretty weird too, and... oh no. Monster. Dr. Kenzo Tenma was a wildly successful Japanese brain surgeon working in Germany. He was on the verge of a big promotion, he had a lovely fiancée, and he was handsome at surgery. Basically, everything was coming up Milhouse. But then, everything changed when Tenma chose to save the life of a child over that of the local mayor. Because years later, it turns out that child became a brutal, murderous psychopath. You know, that old chestnut. That old, I thought saving a child's life would be worth it, but it left me up to my neck in corpses chestnut. Ew, gross chestnut. Perfect Blue. In director Satoshi Kon's psychological thriller, a former pop star named Mima gives up her career as an idol to become an actress, which turns one of her hardcore fans into a hardcore stalker. And while working on her film, weird things begin happening to people on set. Weird in that they're being murdered. The deaths lead Mima to have a mental breakdown. But the real question becomes, is the stalker behind the killing, or is there something dark, deep, buried inside of Mima? Who knows, except the mysterious deaths on the Dan Cave set that definitely aren't my fault. Definitely not. Not me. Must be someone else. Elfin Lied. Sweet buttery Moses. This anime is deeply messed up, and it's kind of perfect if you wish Stranger Things was even more f***ed up. Basically, a human-looking mutant girl named Lucy with incredible telekinetic powers escapes a government research lab and kills all the guards on her way out. She gets shot in the head in the process, which causes her to develop a secondary childlike personality called Mew and lose most of her memories. Fortunately for Lucy, a local university student and his cousin find her and take her in. Unfortunately, it also leads to lots and lots and lots of murders, most foul, as government strike teams and other psychic mutants attempt to recover her. And the worst part, she doesn't even get to eat Eggo waffles. Why 11 and not Lucy? This is bullshit, man. Bullshit. Helsing. While this isn't the scariest anime around, it's also one of the most enjoyable by far. The short-lived series follows a badass vampire named Alucard, spell it backwards, who alongside Ceres Victoria, a police officer turned vampire, works for a UK-based organization called Helsing. Their mission, should they choose to accept it, is to protect Great Britain from all manner of supernatural threats. Now, once you throw in battles with the paramilitary wing of the Vatican, super gory action, and some seriously suave style, you've got a recipe for success. Spooky success. Paranoia Agent. Now, you might think that Paranoia Agent is more of a thriller/mystery, but honestly, the idea of a kid on roller skates beating people to death with a golden baseball bat is pretty goddamn horrifying. It it should come as no surprise that this series came from Satoshi Kon, because that dude specialized in making deeply messed up anime experiences. What will surprise you, though, is the psychological terror that unfolds around the police detectives investigating the case, and a shy character designer who's trying to follow up her previous success. Honestly, it's the most unsettling instance of a baseball bat this side of Negan. Shiki. Now, you might think that life in the countryside would be nice and relaxing with all that fresh, clean air, and I mean, hey, it certainly can be. But things get significantly more stressful when villagers start getting murdered one by one. They get even more stressful when those villagers return from the dead to drink your blood. And they get the most stressful when basically the entire village gets turned into vampires. So that is why you should watch Shiki, to remind you never to move to the countryside. Boogie Pop Phantom. I love this name. Yeah, guys, there's nothing like a good urban legend to send a shiver up your spine, am I right? That's exactly what the excellently named Boogie Pop Phantom traffics in. This series takes place in an unnamed Japanese city where 5 years after a string of grisly serial killings, people have begun to disappear once more, and rumors have begun flying around the town about this entity named Boogie Pop, who's supposed to be kind of this avatar or angel of death. Now, what a group of local teens doesn't realize, though, is that Boogie Pop is all too real, and a whole new dimension of sepia-tinged terror is about to envelop them. This show is eerie, it's unsettling, and it sounds like a child is trying to name a ghost. Hellgirl. The internet is a dangerous place, and in Hellgirl, it's super dangerous because there's a website called Hotline to Hell, accessible only at midnight with a simple function. You can enter anyone's name into the search bar, and they'll be taken straight to hell. As in, do not pass go, do not collect $200, go directly to hell. That sounds pretty good if you're a spiteful bastard, right? Except there's a catch. There's always a catch. Whoever uses the website also condemns him or herself to also burn in the lake of fire after they die. And that, my friends, is why you always read the fine print. Terraformars. Look, guys, I'm just as excited as the next person that Elon Musk wants to take us to Mars. I think colonizing another planet is super chill. But I'm also very worried about what would be waiting there for us after seeing Terraformars. The anime features a far-flung future where, in order to make Mars habitable, scientists have sent cockroaches and algae to Mars in order to basically seed the planet for human life. What happens, though, is a team of researchers sent to Mars discovers that the cockroaches have mutated into these giant anthropomorphic murder machines, and the only solution is to either capture these bugs or exterminate them. And trust me, guys, if you've ever lived in like a super shitty apartment, this is both deeply unsettling and super satisfying. And that, my friends, is a selection of some of the best horror anime around. But tell me, what would you add to this list? What are your favorite horror anime? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to leave me a terrifying thumbs up while you're there. Boo. That's all for today's show. Be sure to join us next time when we talk about the story of a young woman who gives birth to a child that 3 bumbling criminals try to kidnap, only to realize that it's the spawn of Satan himself and Rosemary's Baby's Day Out. Until next time, keep on digging. Let's open up the old mailbag, shall we? At ZD Desai asks, what music are you listening to these days? Well, I did just see an amazing Sigur Rós concert, but I've been bumping a lot of Nujabes, Jay Dilla, and David Bowie according to my Spotify, so there you have it. At Anagramma asks, would you become a magical girl if you had the chance? Absolutely. Without a doubt. I'd be Sailor Moon in a goddamn heartbeat. At Cam Hollage asks, would you rather have 1 Kyle Hill-sized squirrel or 5 squirrel-sized Kyle Hills? Huh. Oh man, this is a real quandary. I guess probably 5 squirrel-sized Kyle Hills because A, I would love to see them stacked on top of each other in a trench coat, and B, they would probably fight each other, and that would be adorable. But tell me, what would you rather have? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.